Good morning. It's June 22nd. Leaving the shelter, Bromley Shelter. I met up with Easy. He's a trail runner. Shelter was spotless, super duper cleaned up. The privy got emptied out and was completely cleaned up. Don't know what to tell you. Guys doing a great job. So thank you, Easy. Got a 17.5 mile day planned today. Waited for the rain to end. It deluged. I said there was a chance of showers and thunderstorms at 4 a.m. Definitely at 7 there would be showers. 7 to 9 thunder showers and things like that. I'm not wearing any rain gear. I probably should be, because I'm going to be brushing through here. You get soaking wet from the brush. The trail is gooey, as you would imagine, right? It rained really, really hard this morning, and definitely smiling inside the shelter. My tent is dry, my sleeping bag's dry, I'm dry, relatively speaking. Everything feels humid. Everything feels moist, like when you wring out a dish towel. It's that kind of dry. Even though I was out of the rain, it's just humid. Really, really humid. I swear, turning into an amphibian. So I'm hiking up Bromley Mountain right now. I looked at some videos last night. Fixing 2 is at 1,700 miles plus. He's excited. I'm happy for him. I communicate with K2. He's ahead of me a little bit, but I can reach him if he doesn't start blasting. So I think we're all within a day or two of each other. Well, not fixing 2. He's a couple of days ahead, definitely. But try to keep my feet warm. My toes were just in such bad shape the other day, and just a couple of days of keeping them dry, they're healed up really nicely. I was shocked. Very happy about that, because I like the new shoes. Although some of the padding in one of the shoes is just crumbling and falling out in little balls. Not sure what that's about. But so last night, as I crawl into the sleeping bag, but the bag's too hot to be inside of, but there's too many mosquitoes outside the bag to open it up. So you're stuck with this conundrum. Really wish I had a pavillon mosquito net for sleeping inside shelters. It would really be helpful. So you do is just try to kill as many mosquitoes as you can. Let the rest of them have their way. When they're done, they leave. Not a good plan, but I am just inundated with big mosquito bites, as I'm quite allergic to them. The response my body has. Anyway, we're going to try to get our miles in today, even though we're starting at 9:30. I got my biggest mile day, 27 mile day, starting at 9, so it should be possible. No, we got mountains on this one. We got elevation changes to do, but that's normal. Well, it's starting to be normal again. At least they're doing mountains with trail legs this time, instead of like back in Virginia and Tennessee. You do 3,000-4,000 footers with, swizzle stick legs. But there's not a whole lot of towns, and there's not a whole lot of hostels. in this area. I think it's economically feasible for people to have hostels when the homes cost so much. So we'll see what we can do. Probably have to pay a couple $100 for a hotel room for a moderate hotel, or a motel even, that don't like hikers. But get your resupply, that's the important part. So it's hard to get shuttled around, it's hard to get things planned up here. And then as we go further north, there's just less towns. It's starting to get remote. And so the trail's going to keep getting more and more difficult from here on out until we finish it. I think the last day is considered one of the hardest. But we got Moosilauke, we got Mahoosuc, I can't even pronounce the names, Mahoosuc Notch or whatever the frick they call it. And then Katahdin itself is an incredible mountain. So they've already lost a father-daughter pair up there this year. So it's also dangerous. There's snow up in the Whites, and I got a summer bag that's iffy. But by the time I get there, we'll probably have 100-degree weather, which we are scheduled to have tomorrow. So I'll get my miles in today, see what we can do. The trail's been a lot less icky this yesterday, and sure is making me feel good. I'm gonna put this away so I can get working. There you go. Oh, mosquito. Got a vista view on the way up Bromley Mountain. See the ski slopes over there. I think the view's probably been improved a little bit by the fact that that guy fell. I don't know if you can see that or not, but that was tall enough to be obstruction. But yeah, I got a little view today. I am soaking wet feeling, but I'm not, at the same time. Kind of on a cliff here, and I have no balance, so I should probably get back. I don't normally go off trail for a view, but it was clear enough. Instead of being a fogged in wet mass. Got a shorter day planned today, but the gradient is difficult. So let's see how we do. I just started. Feel a little bit out of energy, but I gotta get moving first before I can judge. So we'll do that. Bye. Well, we're on top of Bromley Mountain. Apparently it's a ski lift. Last time I saw a ski lift, I was so far off path, it was pathetic. I wonder if the tower is open. I'll go up the tower. Oh, I'm up on top of the tower. You can see all the nasty weather that's coming here. Woo, it's windy. I think that's the mountain I got off trail on and walked down as far to the left as I could. Or not. I bushwhacked a long way to get back on the trail. Sometimes they run these gondolas so that the hikers can get into town. Do resupplies and get food. Not today. Early worm gets the bird. sketchy. This time I see the sign for the AT or in the long trail. So I'll do that this time instead of screwing up. How's that sound? Anyway, it's a pretty day. I took a break at the base of the tower. Had hiker hunger real bad. Even though I just ate breakfast. But my legs were weak and my stomach was empty, and I went ahead and ate a bunch of bars. Try to get some of that energy going so that I can survive my walk. This time I'm coming off the tower, I'm making sure I know where I'm going instead of going way off trail and bushwhacking. So when I got up there on top, I looked around and I could see this bad luck thing where you had to go under a ladder to get on the AT. Some people do it, some people don't. I won't. But hoping to get some miles in today, which I doubt because I'm like hiking so slow and I keep stopping. I'm gonna put the camera away for this. So I just ran into a couple of hikers that I saw yesterday. They said they were going into town. They stayed at the hostel the day before that I was at. So they went into town and stayed there, and then got shuttled to the trailhead and came back up here, and they're ahead of me. I don't know, that sounds pretty sketchy to me. But good on them. So he told me nightmare stories of hotels costing over $300. And I said, well, do they come with an indoor pool and a hot tub? And I said, no. I said, well, geez, downtown San Francisco, you can get a Hilton for that. And it has a pool and a hot tub. I don't know what people up here are thinking. It's not the on season. It is not. It's the off season. And you're charging on season prices. Or maybe it's $600 a night. I don't know. Pretty high end greed. I stayed in a comfortable shelter and waited the storm out. They said they got on trail about 8, which means they got a bit of water on them. They're like, woof. I got on trail at 9:30. So they're making me feel like I'm not moving. I keep running into these guys. And I want to be moving. Trail's back to being a little bit icky, but it's less icky than it's been in the past weeks. The boards are real slippery. Got to walk very neutral. Yeah, my surf skills aren't here at all. I got nothing. Oh, I got caught by surprise there. Don't like to film people. They don't tend to want to be filmed. Absolutely zero eye contact on that one. Very slippery and slidey. Although I'm learning a little bit. I don't have any of my rain gear on. Yeah, I get water on me, but it evaporates much quicker than if I was housing my body in a rain suit. My feet are dry. I should probably take off the outer layer of socks just to do the same with them. It's pretty warm. It's like it's in the 80s or 70s. Underneath the canopy with the fog and all that, it's cooler than that. It's probably 65 or something, I don't know. Can't tell, I'm moving. But it's not bad. It's not a bad day for hiking. Pretty dark in here. Dark and thick. Got a couple more bumps to go over up on top of this here mountain, and then we have a long down and a little bit of an up at the end. We get near the shelter. Ooh, that almost got me. So, day is starting off very slowly, but I think as I get down this hill, we'll be okay. We'll make up those miles. Get to the shelter on time. A reasonable time, so I can get people to move while they're awake, if there are people. Last night was nice. There was only one person in the shelter, and he had it spotlessly clean, which was excellent. Okay, put you away so I can stick it. You can see light up there. Looks like we're up in the hemlock forest. Guess they grow up higher. So we're not at 4,000 feet, but we're up in the threes. I think we're finishing up the high points of the day right now and starting to head down. Oh boy. In a big way, apparently. Squish. But everything's slippery and wet again, but we're getting used to it. It's just the way life is on trail. Tomorrow it's supposed to get up almost to 100. I believe no rain. So it's just a real fun year weather-wise. Most people agree it's been a wet one, and the temperatures have been varying widely for the time of year that we're in, you know. So, but most of the time it's been in my comfort zone, which is I like it. It's below 70. It's only gotten up to 70 a few times. And the rest of the time it's been in the 60s and 50s, which I enjoy a great deal. And one of the reasons I started hiking so early is so that I could stay in the cooler air and hope to reach the more northern states in order to hit the elevations and be cool up there. So I hope I didn't bite off more than I could chew. Only got a couple more states. Hard to believe. But yeah, at least in less than 2 months, hopefully 6 weeks or less, I'll be finishing this puppy up. Pardon me. And then see about finding myself a place in Alabama to raise up. Yeah. Safe, very safe. A lot of water and wind, and that makes the ground, water makes the ground soft, and the wind just knocks everything over. I don't like being out in the wind because that's the dangerous one. Rain can be dangerous too if you're fording a lot, but I don't know what you're seeing, but boy, this trail is, that's straight. That's the trail. I'm gonna have to put this camera away in order to do these slippery rocks. Bye. So I just passed Indiana and his friend, who I think is like 76 years old. They're both kind of long trailing it. Ran into them in a shelter along with Dee Dee, or PS 71. That's her name. Met them a few days ago at a shelter. They told me they had all met Heike. That was exciting. So How is it that I'm passing them now? Is 1-0 that big a deal? I mean, apparently these guys are just, it's the tortoise and the hare thing, you know. I fly right by them and then there they are in front of me again. They told me they stayed at Bromley. And I said, I was at Bromley Shelter last night and I didn't see you. And they said, no. That tower you climbed up there, right next to it's a ski lodge, ski patrol hut, and they have able to charge our electronics and everything. And so I didn't know you could do that. Well, you need to stick with us old farts. And they ain't lying, I sure do. Guys know what they're doing. They said at the end of the long trail there's an Irish pub and that's where they're headed. They said 3 days from now they'll be holding a big old beer. That does sound good. So I don't know if I get there in 3 days. I might get there in 1.5. Or maybe 1, I don't know. Gotta get through today first. Tomorrow I'll have a smaller day. Like today's 17.8 or something like that. And then tomorrow's like 14 with some big ups and downs. It's hard for me to tell with the Far Out app what's going on. So apparently there's all sorts of hidden information in the places I'm not clicking. So click on the mountaintop. It might give you the history of the mountain. But it also has little gems like, oh, well, the ski lift, if it's working, they'll take you downtown. You can go do your shopping and get back up again. It's free to hikers and stuff like that. But of course, it's not running right now. Early worm gets the bird. Ooh, this looks good. I've got water though. That looks real good though. So I don't know, man. Maybe I shouldn't be zeroing as much as I do, but I'm gonna hike my hike. How's that? I run into people again, then it's just a chance to say hello again. I would keep thinking I'm kicking butt, and then I look around and get my butt kicked. But I'm going to finish this damn thing. I have to get it over. It's supposed to be fun, but kind of like my career, you know, it was fun in the beginning. Toward the end, you just the burnout is insane. You know, it is work I enjoy, but all day, every day for years and years and years. And this is the same every day. I only see this much of the trail all the time. That's what I see. All day long. It never changes. You guys get to look up while I'm looking down and see the trail for what it is. I'll watch the videos later and get the joy from it. Type 2 fun. So I am ready to get off the trail and go back to family and friends and not missing events like people's retirement parties or helping them build a home or just going to a hockey game. You know, maybe get back in the kitchen again and start cooking. It's nice cooking a couple of steaks 2 nights in a row, followed by a quart of ice cream, Rocky Road. That was good. So, sounds like the wind's died down on this side of the mountain. I got a lot of miles to cover, but I think they're going to be easing up a bit. It's like long sloping downhill. Hopefully it won't be too muddy and too steep and rocky. Try to make some time up for the loss this morning with the rain delay. So Bromley Mountain had a freaking ranger station you could park in. Ski patrol station. Well, I'm gonna check on the app and see where they found that. Okay, bye. So I just left another hostel. I just stopped to get lunch. Everyone else is doing the same thing. 2 old guys, Indiana and his friend who's 76 or something like that. I was in his 80s. Were there. The breeze was there. All these people that should be way behind me still, even with my 0, I'm passing them. I'm telling you, the yellow blazing, that's what they're doing. This tortoise and the hare crap, it's getting old. I hate being the hare. They're kicking my butt. All I did was take 1-0. There's no way. Okay, so apparently it's a big deal. But I needed one. My toes were like raw. They were suppurating, and then all I did was dry them out. Let them dry out, and get a mosquito on my neck, sorry. Let them dry out, and then kept dry socks on them. And they healed up real quick. They healed up real quick. A lot of really nice bridges. Very slippery. You see the slime on it? The green? Yeah. It'll kill you. That don't smell weird. Cool. That means I'm smelling again. Well, I smell, but I mean I can smell other things. And that was nasty. Okay, it's really dark in here. The camera lights it up a bunch. It's super dark. I got another 10 miles to go. And it's 2 o'clock. So if I want to get there by 7, I better start hauling butt. It's mostly downhill, slight downhill, moderate. So I need to put this camera away so I can start moving faster, get away from these mosquitoes. Because they're eating my face up. I know, it improves my looks. Bye. Can't stop. Mosquitoes. See anything in the water? Oh, I see something with 4 legs and a tail. Not very bright orange like the newts. A salamander or something, or maybe it's a processing of a bullfrog. He's pretty long and skinny. Anyway, beautiful lake. Start with the lake water we're drinking out of. Yummo. Trying to stay topside here, not slip. My left foot keeps being off a little today when I put it down. You wouldn't believe how dark it just got. If I can shine the camera up there, it'll... No, that's too quick. But, yeah, these boards are super slip, and you know, if you try to push off with your toe, you slip. So try to walk like dead foot on my heels, so there's no lateral motion. A lot of boards, man. I'm not going fast enough to avoid the skeeters. Freaking bugs. It's pretty sketchy out here. I think the water moves around or something, you know, like some years this is swampy and then it never gets swampy again because the water changes. They're dangerous boards to walk on. Super duper slippery. Hunting area, Privy Wash Pit. Anything about a trail? Lake access, no. Blaze-free hiking. Here's your bear box. They open it up and snack on someone else's food when they're not here. I thought it was trail magic, man. This, I'm gonna slip and fall. This is really bad. I'm going slow. It's just slick. I'm gonna put this away. I'm gonna come down. I'm not sure I'm reading the Far Out app correctly, but I don't know whether I need to stop here and get water, or is this the suspension bridge? It says there's campsites near the suspension bridge, but not at the shelter. I don't know, there's a lot of confusion there to me. Nice looking bridge. Very beautiful. Ooh, I'd hate to have carried all that cement for that anchor point. Okay, there we go. I'm chickening out on going up to the next shelter. My shelter's 2 shelters away. It's only 3 miles, but I don't want to ruin my legs any more than they're ruined already. So I'm eyeballing just setting up a tent here near the stream. Pretty wet and gooey and very wavy. Not very flat, but it's better than a lot of places I've camped. So I'm gonna sit up in here, show you what it looks like when I'm done. Well, it's 5:30. Got the tent set up over yonder. It's at a pretty good grade there, so I'll be sliding downhill all night long. It's actually within view of the bridge. You can't see it. You can see it maybe a little, but maybe I'll zoom in. You can see the bridge there in the background through the trees. So I get to hear waterfalls all night. Cooking up 2 rounds of top ramen. I felt pretty weak today and felt hunger and felt a lot of hunger and was trying really hard to catch up on food and energy. The trail's complicated as far as, you know, I got to stop thinking 2.5 miles per hour. It's just not going to happen. Today was all downhill, well, mostly. Pretty good. But it's so complicated, it slows you down a bunch. You can't really press through. The mud came back on this side of the mountain. We had a lot of mud spots and stuff like that to deal with. My feet started hurting, and the mileage just wasn't working. You know, I was like, okay, if I got a shelter 5 miles away, and I'm hiking 2 miles per hour, you know, why am I not seeing this thing in 4 hours, you know, or 3 hours? I'm like, what's going on? Hiker brain? I don't know. But I don't think it's worth it for me to go another 3.6 miles right now. I'm just gonna take it easy. All these other guys are passing me. I'm like, what the hell? So I'll stop being a rabbit and be a turtle for a little while. It's pretty right now. Let me reverse it again. The sun up in the trees and everything, and it's a nice enough spot. Of course, it's inundated with mosquitoes, but I'm in a tent now, and I'm happy about that. Anyway, long day. Now it's done.